myself up here. Okay. Hi. Hello. How are you? We are live. I'm very excited to be here. We're going to do some card reading. We're just going to sit together and have some fun. The chat is open. So if you guys want to leave comments, questions, or concerns, you are free to do so. It is right in here. We're just gonna hang out for a little bit today and see how the energy goes. I realized that I didn't have a video prepared for this week, and this week or possibly next week, I can't remember my days anymore. Just sort of blurs together. So yeah, it works like that. But we're here now. We're gonna go live. We are live now. So, let's get started. Some quick housekeeping things and a quick disclaimer. Number one, with the housekeeping things, I've included a list of my social media links as well as a list of the decks I'm using for this reading. That will be in the description if you want to see what I'm using. Social media is linked. And just as a disclaimer, one of the decks I'm using, it's a new deck in my collection, but it is themed around the LGBTQIA community. And I'd like you to keep in mind the comments that you're making around the cards or around issues concerning the LGBTQIA community. There is a lot going on, but I want this stream to be a safe place. I want this to be an open forum, but I also will not tolerate any slurs, rude comments, any homophobic comments. If I do see that happening in the chat, I will report the comments. So please be aware. Please be aware that will happen, but it is not my intention to gatekeep, because that's not what I want to do. These readings are for everybody when they're meant to find them. However, safety is my first priority with these lives and with my videos. So that's what I will be keeping in mind as I'm reading the cards from that deck. Also, really quickly, I am open for commissions. If you guys are interested in getting a private reading done with me, the link, just look in the chat box. It's the pinned comment right here. But on top of that, tips are welcomed. They're not necessary, but they are always very much appreciated. Thank you so much for your support and for being here today. Now let's get into some cards. Okay. Also, I don't know if you can hear the humming, but I have an air conditioner going because it is a little warm for my comfort where I'm filming right now. So just hang in there with me if you do hear that humming. Okay. So let's see. Let's get some oracle energy and find out what we need to see for, just the energy of today. What do we need here? What do we need to see? What do we need to see, please? Let's see what we need. All right. Ooh, okay. So okay. Lately I've had a bunch of cards popping off, just out of whatever deck I'm using. But lately I've been having fun just drawing random amounts of cards out of each deck. And that's had some interesting results. I read for myself, and a lot of times I'll do like very specific numbers of cards, and honestly, I kind of got bored with that. So yeah, I've been having to play about in my cards and seeing what I need to see for it. And that's actually been really fun. So if that starts happening, especially with the tarot, we'll see what we need to see. Okay. Alrighty. So I got one more to shuffle. Let's see how this goes. Okay. So, all right, for our oracle energy, we're going to start with peaks of joy. Okay. And we're going to move into the Shadow Queen, which represents acquiring knowledge, insecurity, or manipulation. Okay. All right. We have Share Your Voice, which represents coming out of the cave, persecution, or expression. Persecution and expression. Okay. All right. And we have Bliss Embodied, ease, lightness, and tranquility. All right. What's interesting here is that right off the bat, there's something in your past that may have felt something about your past has had you moving towards your happiness, doing things that have brought you joy. You've been kind of in a state of euphoria with what you're doing. And it's a good state to be in because you've expressed yourself, you've found peace, you've found just the most purest form of joy that you can come to, right? It's put you at ease, it's made you feel light in your body. There's a lot of happiness and a lot of happiness that you've been moving towards. However, there's been an energy of you kind of dipping back into what is making you feel unsure, insecure. Hello. And I think this has come from bringing in, like, you've been open to accepting knowledge. And that knowledge has come from pursuing your passions and your joys and going towards what is making you the highest form of happy that you can be. But that's also given you some pause because something has had to be left behind, and something very specifically familiar has had to be left behind. So that has given you a little bit of pause. But on top of that, there could be some things outside of you, or some potentially people outside of you that are pulling the strings in a way that you feel, but that is also making you feel very awkward. They're trying to manipulate the situation in order to get you back to a place where they're comfortable, where they're happy. Okay. And it's not, you recognize this energy is present. Okay. And then it's going to this card, this aspect of persecution here. You feel, yes, you're feeling happy. You're feeling joyful. You're feeling like you could just shout from the mountaintops how happy you are. And you probably should. You should. Not probably should. You should go shout how happy you are from the mountaintops because you deserve to. But someone is telling you that you don't. Okay? And you recognize this energy. You know it's there. You know that you don't need to feel threatened by whatever this energy is. Okay, however this energy is manifesting. Okay, I do think you deserve the chance to express your joy, express what makes you happy. Okay, in spite of this weird little puppet mastery energy here. Okay, so let's see what our tarot has to say in terms of supplementing the energy and what we can do to use our highest joy for the best good it can be used for. Okay. So I'm excited to be sharing this deck with you because, as I said, this is the deck that concerns the LGBTQ themes here. This is the Pride Tarot. And I am really excited to have this deck in my collection because I have seen this particular deck before. However, I was out with family and I decided to leave it unpurchased at the time I saw it. And that was due to budgeting issues. But I was able to get it for my collection and I'm very happy about it. So yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah, please don't worry about when you can do it, if you can do it at all. This is concerning donations and tips and things like that. Like I said in the beginning, it is very much appreciated. It's not necessary, and everyone is welcome here when they find this live. So, I am glad you're here. Thank you for joining me. And as usual, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, chat box, or I do mean to add, English, man. I did mean to add this at the beginning, but this will be saved in playback, so the comment section will be open after this live gets posted. Okay. So let's see what we have to start here. Okay, to start, we have Temperance. Okay, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, and we have the Nine of Cups. Interesting. So there's a balance of working hard and wondering whether your effort is actually worth the payoff. Okay. I'm getting here with the Seven of Pentacles because you're seeing, like, you've tilled the soil, you planted the seeds, you've watched the blade, the leaves grow, you've watched everything, you've watched it happen, but there's something here that suggests the energy isn't happening fast enough. Okay, and it's caused you to wonder, like, oh, I'm putting all of this energy towards this thing, towards what is giving me my highest joy here. But what's it all for? What is it all for? Okay. The advice that I can give here is, step back and take a break. You're very close to seeing that payoff, specifically where this is the Nine of Cups. So in specific, you're seeing a lot of, again, going back to joy. Going back to your joy. It's there. It's bubbling up, and it is bubbling up. Okay, and it's going to come to pass. Whatever this project is that you put yourself in the middle of, you worked hard, it is paying off. Okay. Now, the interesting thing is with the cups here is that it is about spiritual and emotional growth. So there's definitely, I think there's been a lot of reflection and questioning yourself a little bit about why you do certain things or what is it that makes you as a person tick. But that hard work is starting to pay off, okay? Now, there is a cause to be in balance and in moderation right now, because the tendency of rushing your process may be a little bit in reality for you, and that's not what you want to do right now, because you are so close to figuring out what. So we talked about, for those of you that are just joining, we talked about expressing your highest joy and having a bit of insecurity over certain things that are still happening. There's a sense of that manipulative, insecure energy. And part of that trigger could be that you have, you're not really sure what your next step is going to be. And that could be what's making you feel unbalanced and insecure. And this is where I think game planning, the next step, is going to be crucial for you moving forward. Because again, you're very close to that emotional overflow, that feeling of well-being and peace and happiness, and acting in a way where you can go for your ultimate joy. Okay, this is saying moderate and balanced. Okay, all right, there's a first portion of that. Let's see what our hidden and clarifying energies to this might be here. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. All right, yeah. So our hidden energy here is the Seven of Cups. There are choices to be made here. And yeah, there are choices to be made. And you have a lot of options. You have a lot of options at your fingertips. Again, we're going to bring up the temperance. We're going to bring up temperance here. This is where I say being balanced is staying balanced and being able to really look at your situation from a clear perspective is really going to help here, because you have so many options. You have so many things at your fingertips because you've worked for this opportunity. You worked for what you have coming to you. The thing is, you need to be able to choose wisely for yourself, okay? Because you have a lot of pretty sparkly things, and you have a lot of plain Jane kind of options here. Choose wisely. And choose wisely. I don't know how many of you have seen not Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's the one where they go for the what's it? It's this. Yeah, I think it is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Or it's the Indiana Jones movie with Sean Connery in it. Again, we're getting nerdy here, but they have to find this cup of life thing, and they have, it's this big scene at the end where they have all of these cups and they have to choose, and one of them chooses a really shiny, pretty cup and ends up not surviving, whereas another character chooses a very plain cup, and there are certain things that happen for him that are positive. that's kind of the energy that I'm getting here, is that you have to be able to choose wisely for yourself. Now, I'm going to confirm that by the fact that our clarifying energy here is the Hermit, because you're being called to follow a path that is yours and yours alone. Okay, you may have people trying to win you over to their side of doing things, or trying to get you to do things that are outside of your own understanding of your life and your path. Okay, in order to make the choices that you need to make, you're going to have to follow your own path and be within your own truth, right? Basically, game planning your next steps in order to follow what it is that makes you the happiest is going to require you to tap into your own truth and use that as the light along your way. Okay? All right. So let's start with that. See where we go from there. We're going to, you know what? We're going to clarify each card that we have out right now. So we're gonna see why we're seeing the Temperance, Seven of Pentacles, Nine of Cups. What are we seeing? Why are we seeing what we are seeing? Okay. So to start with our Temperance card here, let's see our Temperance. What are we seeing Temperance here for? Okay. So we're seeing Temperance. Okay, so we're starting with the Magician. And we also have the Ten of Swords. Okay. There's definitely been some displacement, some lack of balance in our current space, and we've had to overcome some very painful things. Again, we're going back to the idea of being kind of having our knees kicked out from under us, which again, hurt, ow, pain. Why is this happening? Right? Yeah, there's been some questions, some insecurity. Yeah. The thing is, we have the opportunity to get past it. We've definitely worked hard, because here's our Nine of Cups here. We've definitely worked hard. And if there was ever any question of whether you have the chops to do this work, okay, there really shouldn't be, because you have the Magician here, and this is representing your capability to make magic happen in spite of the pain, in spite of the hurt, in spite of whatever may happen. You're still capable. You still have things that other people don't bring into an energetic space, right? That doesn't mean their energy is not unique or unnecessary, because everybody is unique. Everybody is necessary. Everybody brings good and wonderful things to the world, right? And so do you. Okay? Just because there's been some hurt, there's been some betrayal. Ouch. I'm sorry I'm sorry it went that way for you. Here's your encouragement. Okay? You have what it takes. And on top of that, you have the means of resetting your balance, resetting yourself so you're on a more even ground than you felt like you've been on in a while, right? So there's that. Let's see what else we need to see here. We are seeing the Seven of Pentacles because we've had the Knight of Cups come out. Okay. But we also have the Queen of Swords. Okay. So what's interesting to me here is that the Seven of Pentacles has you, again, game planning, trying to move the needle forward so that you can take action on furthering your emotional growth. Okay. And I'm sensing there's someone who may come into the comments or into the chat that is very much wear your heart in your sleeve kind of person. And that has certainly helped you connect. Yeah, there's a connective aspect to this. And that's probably why we're seeing the Ten of Swords, because you put feelers out into the energetic space that is connected with an energy that didn't help move you forward. And that's why that's probably where you're getting the sense from the Shadow Queen of there's something not quite right about this. Okay. But now that you've realized that you put up a barrier and you've allowed yourself to protect and be aware of how you're doing that protection aspect for yourself. Okay, let's go with that. But ultimately right now, there's an action being taken that is allowing you to grow and to be safe in doing that. Okay. And it's not that I don't think you've necessarily hit a wall with this growth, but I do think there is something that needs to come back into balance for you, because one thing that I feel with the Queen of Swords is that you may have a tendency of getting into your own head a little bit over much, and you forget to, you're so busy tending to your mental and intellectual. You're so busy thinking your thoughts that you forget to feel from your heart. And again, going back to the Temperance card, okay, we have cards that suggest there's a lot of happiness and a lot of joy that you're working towards, right? But again, the balance of head versus heart may need to be looked at, and that may need to be addressed with this game plan as well. Okay. So let's look at our Nine of Cups here. What is our Nine of Cups happening? Nine of Cups. Okay. Nine of Cups here. Why are we seeing the Nine of Cups here? Ooh, okay. We got 4 cards. We'll keep those. Okay. So our Nine of Cups here is being clarified. Okay, we have the King of Wands. And we have the King of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. So again, what's striking me here, and I'm getting here from the King of Wands energy here, because we have a lot of fiery energy. Yeah, the fire energy is coming through with the King of Wands here, and it's more to do with the idea of it being an authoritative but understanding energy as well. You know what's firing you up. You know what's getting you out of bed in the morning. You know what makes you know what gets you in your feels. I hope, and I say that with the idea that this is a positive aspect for you. Yeah, we're getting you in your feels in a good way, right? This is a good, positive, authoritative, bright, warm, happy energy, and you're feeling really good. Like you're in a good space right now, okay? In spite of the mild darkness that we have coming in right now, and by that I mean the insecurity, the insecure feelings. That's minuscule in comparison with this, right? Yeah, there's something really happy going on here, okay? And it's at the point where, if you recall, our Seven of Pentacles is to game plan and put your ideas and your thoughts together. Your hard work in that regard is paying off. I think I've said this in past portions of this reading. It is paying off and it is coming to fruition. You're starting to see the seeds of what you've planted, how you've worked hard. You're starting to see all of that pay off. Okay. And by that, you're starting to really get in a good, you're in your feels in a good way over this happening. Okay. All right. So let's move into our Seven of Cups. Here's our choice. There will always be choices to make here. Okay. But our Seven of Cups is being clarified, okay, by the Page of Cups and by strength. Okay. So, yes, there will always be choices that need to be made. Okay. But there will always be lessons to learn. Okay. Especially in the way that we react to, how we analyze things, how we react to things. Are we more reactive versus analytical? Are we straight down the center where we react, but we don't necessarily forget to analyze? There is a choice. Mm-hmm. Okay. There is a choice here. Okay. And whatever you do decide is going to help you grow. Whatever you do decide is going to help you grow. And what you have picked up along the way probably needs to be applied now, because you learned enough to keep moving forward. Okay. Or if you want to stay where you are for a little bit, enjoy what you've made, totally cool too. Okay. Because either way, and this is going to be helpful for one of you, you have the strength. You have the strength to keep going, to keep conquering, and I say conquering, let's keep that as a gentle energy, because again, you do have some very potentially forceful cards with the King of Wands and the Queen of Swords here, right? If you are finding yourself in a difficult place, you do have the strength to overcome base desires. And maybe this is just as simple as you being reactive versus analytical. Maybe this is you needing to find a happy medium between those two attributes or things. But it is... it is possible for you to keep moving forward. Okay. And you will be able to, well, at least for now, you will be able to incorporate what you're picking up on what you're learning. And in either case, you will grow. You will continue to grow, specifically in terms of emotional and spiritual growth on that front. Okay. So let's see why we are seeing our Hermit card here. What's going on with our Hermit? Come on forward. Okay. There is our Hermit here. Okay. Ooh, okay. We're starting off with our Hanged Man. Okay. Let's see why else here. Injustice. Okay. So we're back to balance, but I think this is coming from a sense of needing to surrender and to let things be for a little bit. Okay. Letting things be in order to find more. Just rest and let it be, right? I'm sorry, I just noticed the backing on this is an anagram. I love that. Love is love, right? Okay, anyway, sidebar. Back to the reading, Meg. So our Hermit is about stepping back and taking a moment to find our truths and our finding our truths and finding our way of moving forward with the light of our truth in mind, right? And in order to do that, again, part of that is going to be balancing our karma, what we've done in the past and how we're going to initiate change in the future. Okay. But also trying to see things from a different angle in our situation. I think that's going to help here as well. Remember that we have the Seven of Pentacles. Again, I'm mildly harping on that here. But we have the chance to incorporate new ideas into what we're doing. And by doing that, by, again, keeping ourselves in a balanced, temperate manner and answering for the actions we've taken to get ourselves here, there will be change. There will be growth. There will be room for our deepest desires and greatest joys to start manifesting, because it's already started. Okay. It is already started. Okay, so let's see what we need to see here. You know what? Let's go with the one I took off top. Okay, so let's see what else we need to know. Why are we seeing what it is we're seeing from this first part? Yeah, let's go. Let's see what it is we are seeing. Okay, here we go. Okay. So, supplementing our energy here. All right, we got a bunch here. Let's just read them. We have the Knight of Pentacles, which I think this might be a repeat card. Okay, so Knight of Pentacles. We have the Star. Okay, and we have the Page of Cups. This is definitely a repeat card. So there's some things that we're hoping comes to pass here, okay? Specifically in how we are taking action on growing our abundance, okay? There's something here that's been a little foggy in the past, and it's not been an easy thing to pinpoint, right? Because on one hand, we want all of the things. We want to be able to take care of ourselves. We want to be able to do fun things. We want to have plenty of food and a decent roof over our heads, right? All of those things are, those are our desires, but we haven't necessarily been able to pinpoint how we're going to get to where we need to go, simply because we don't necessarily have a clear path forward. I think there may be some things that you are missing because you're not necessarily looking in the right spot for them. That's not a bad thing. If you've been looking, you're looking, and that's a good start, right? I think the mission here is to look up. Okay, and I say look up. I say it like that because you'll figure out a way to achieve this. Okay, you'll figure out a way to achieve your abundance, but you have to find the star to navigate by. And if you're looking down at your feet, you're not going to see your North Star, right? You're not going to see the way you need to navigate you're not seeing the way you need to navigate your path. Okay, calling back our hermit here. Okay. Yeah, there's that. Part of activating the star energy here is, again, incorporating the lessons that you have picked up along the way in terms of emotional and spiritual growth. Okay, it's all here. It's all ready and waiting for you. Okay. This process, once again, this process can't be rushed. And I think part of that lack of seeing is you trying to push yourself faster and farther than you're likely ready to go right now. Okay, you're jazzed. You're so in for this progress, but it's not happening the way you anticipated. Okay, it's not happening as fast as you anticipated. Okay, and with this, I'm getting here with this Knight of Wands. No, I'm sorry, that's Knight of Pentacles energy, because this is slow and measured action coming here. And what's really beautiful, what's really important and special about the Knight of Cups is that I'm hearing the call to, yes, take action and use the lessons you're learning right now, but also pause and smell the roses. Watch grass grow. Take a day and just watch the grass grow. Watch a painting dry. Take some time to nurture your heart and soul. You have every right to do that. There's no shame in self-care. There's no shame in taking a day for yourself. Okay. And some situations might have you thinking, well, that's easier said than done. That's fair. Totally fair. Okay. Look up and find your truth. Use your truth to move yourself forward towards your joy. Okay. Okay, we also have the Moon, and we also have the Tower. Okay. So once again, there may be things that are not clear to you right now in this situation. And it's going, I do think you sense like, okay, something isn't as settled as I would like it to be. I am looking up, I'm trying to find it. There's a call to follow your intuition with this energy, with this part of the energy here. Because there is going to be a moment where things become clear and potentially painfully clear. Okay. Those instances will be there to test you, and to test what is happening with you with your Page of Cups. You already know what I'm going to say about the Page of Cups at this point, I feel like. So what's falling away is going to help you learn, and there is always value in feeling like things have fallen apart, because that just means there's an opportunity to start over. And again, that's going to feel wretched. It's going to feel weird. But the opportunity to build your foundation again and build it better than you did is real, and it is here. Okay. Don't be afraid of this. This could be minor. This could be very dramatic. Whatever happens, keep in mind that you're not alone, that you are safe, you are protected. Remember your Queen of Swords, and you are nurtured. Okay. Let's see what else. Yeah, okay. So, Six of Wands is coming through as well. Again, there's something transitioning. Okay. Whatever this Tower energy is moving on, it's meant to move on. Okay. I'm confirming that with the Six of Wands here. Okay. Six of Wands, and actually I read that Six of Swords. But after this movement, after this transition happens, there's a sense that you are being seen and acknowledged for the work you're doing, for surrendering. Remember our Hanged Man, for acknowledging your truth, acknowledging your ability to create your magic. Okay. Just keeping light on what's on your heart to achieve. You will achieve it, and it will be done. But things have to fall away that aren't serving you, and you are being acknowledged for your work. Okay. There's the Six of Wands. Okay, and we also have the Knight of Cups coming out again as well. So it's interesting here. We have the Page and we have the Knight of Cups. There's lessons still to be learned, and there's action still to be taken. Again, though, your work is being seen. And if there was ever a question that you should continue the work, if it's putting what's bringing you joy down the line, I would continue trying. However, again, what's on your heart, and you know what you need to do to move the needle forward on manifesting your deepest joys. Okay. So there's that. I hope that makes at least a little bit of sense. Let's get a closing. I'm not stopping the live right now, but to round out this portion of the reading, let's see what else we can do to confirm, deny, just generally give a closing message for this portion of the live. So what do we need to see here? What do we need to see? What do we need to see? All right. So Okay, we have the 10 of Wands. All right. We have, okay, the Hanged Man is coming out again here. Okay. Interesting. We have the Sun. Okay. And let's start with that. So I think whatever it is you've chosen to bring onto your shoulders, the obligations you've come to be carrying at this time, you're very clear about the purpose for you trying. You're very clear about your purpose for keeping this obligation. Okay. But it's had to come from letting your perception of your situation shift a little bit. And I'm getting that with this Hanged Man here, because there's definitely there's a sense of it shifting towards the positive. Okay. And I'm getting that here. All right. This, whatever tasks, whatever work you've chosen to do, there's a sense of this determination to just get it done, no matter how tough, no matter how painful, no matter how heavy all of this is. And it's, you've taken your mindset of, oh my God, I can't do this, I'm not strong enough, I don't have the determination, I don't have the will. You've taken that and said, you know what, this is hard, I acknowledge this, but I can see that there are dividends happening for me here, because there are good things coming. There's, yes, there may be a sense of significant change. It's important change, and I might not be comfortable with it right away. But these changes are important and necessary for me to come through, right? I'm getting here with the Sun. There's going to be a lot of light and hope and clarity. But again, going back to the growth aspect here, there's going to be a lot of growth happening, okay? And the reason this has come about is because instead of whining and moaning and groaning about the situation you've willingly taken on, it's now, even though it still feels like a weighty burden for you to be carrying, it feels like it's less so because you've chosen to make the shift and change your perspective. Okay. We also have the Ace of Wands. Okay. And we have the Lovers. The Ace of Wands and the Lovers. So a new opportunity is coming in, certainly to be creative. And I apologize to you arachnophobes out there, because I just noticed that's a spider. But spiders create webs. They create beautiful webs. They create intricate and amazing patterns, depending on the environment and where they are, right? There's a chance to be creative and to light a new fire within you, okay? Now, this could be for some, this could be within the realm of romance, or intimate relations with another person. Doesn't have to be, but it is coming in as a new opportunity, and it's interesting to see. Yeah, it is interesting to see this happen. Certainly, I think I may have said that certainly there's a new inner fire coming forward. And again, there's something about the past portions that's suggesting tapping into your joy and things like that. Again, this is getting you in your feels in a good way. Again, going back to the choices and weighing options, it's always going to be there. but you have what it takes to make the choice. Okay. Yeah, what it takes to make the choice. Okay. Let's see what else. Ooh, okay. And you also have the King of Cups. So you're in your feels in a good way, and you're understanding of certainly what you're feeling. You're not necessarily overwhelmed by it, even though you're experiencing an emotional overflow. But it's a good energy, and it's a beautiful energy to be in right now, because you're not letting. Certainly, there are impulses, right? You just want to do something right now because I have all this energy and I don't know how to channel it. Well, with this King of Cups, now you're saying, yeah, okay, I'm feeling what I'm feeling, but I don't really feel the need to do just anything. So I can pause and reflect on what I can do next. Okay. Alrighty. I think that made sense. I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that resonated with some of you. I'm going to take a water break. So I hope if you are in a very warm area, it is roasty toasty in my area. I don't know how any other, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, water break. Cheers, friends. Okay. So, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. I'm going to reorganize my decks, and we'll see what other messages want to come through from our cards. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. You guys know where everything is. I'm happy to help where I can. So, let's see. Excuse me. So just to update a little bit, because I realized I haven't given much of that lately. I am doing okay. I am. So in my area, it's like I said a bit ago, it is very hot where I'm at right now, and it's just been a matter of keeping out of the heat long enough not to get burned. And you probably can't tell, but I did get a little bit crispy this week. Yeah, I'm prone to sunburns, so there's that. But I did go out for a little bit to explore my city, which was really lovely, minus the heat. But I did get sunburned, and that is how I came by the Pride deck. So I'm really happy that I have that deck. Like I said, I have also been reading a lot, which has been nice, but I'm starting to feel a little bit like the energy is coming out from under my feet. So I would like to spend some time doing that this evening, but if you guys read my text blogs, I will have updates to that reading list very soon, because I've decided to keep a record of what I've been working on so far. And everything else outside of the reading and writing's coming along nicely. I have managed to finish off most of the main page content and the tier materials for finishing out this year, but I've also gotten ideas down for content potential content for next year. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm not sure when I'm going to have time to actually finish compiling tier content for next year, but we will make a concerted effort, because I'm at the point now where I'm doing all of the very large writing projects. Yeah, it's a lot, and if you've seen what that looks like, it's quite a bit. I think if you guys have any feedback on this idea, I would like to hear from you on this. But I am thinking of doing a large scale oracle reading and a large scale tarot reading at some point. Just for context, I have a bit of a collection of decks, as you may have seen. And I want to share some of the bigger options that you might be considering if you look at the membership program on my Ko-Fi. Again, it's not an obligation, it's an option, so please follow your heart there. But the large pieces take a lot of work, specifically with composing and getting everything photographed and doing everything that will come as a requirement. But I would like to share that. I would like to share at least one of those options with you guys. So if you could let me know what you might be interested in. I may, if you go to the community tab on my YouTube, I may have a poll there. But this thought just came to me, so give me a minute to set that up. But yeah, if you guys want to see a larger scale, or what a larger scale reading might look like, let me know and we'll work it out. We'll make it happen. But it will take a little bit to put together. So again, let me know. Back to the original point here. The writing is coming along. I do have some personal journaling to catch up on from yesterday, but after that, I'm doing pretty good with all of the projects. And also, I am getting my nephews again this coming week, and I'm very excited to see them because they've been on vacation. So yeah, lots of fun stuff ahead, and we'll see how it goes. So, to the cards. I've been shuffling. Pause a minute. I will be back. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Actually, I'll tell you what. Let's do a pyramid reading. Okay, so at our base, we have the magic stream. Okay, we have come together. Okay, we have the magical shifter. Okay, all right, and we have coming apart. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, immediately I'm getting the idea of resting and rejuvenating after being hurt in some way. Okay, but you've had to do this in a way where you've had to ask for a little bit of help. Okay, and this is where I'm getting come together. I don't feel like this is serious, because I think this is you reaching out to a trusted friend or potential advisor, or someone who you genuinely and truly trust, rather than you just trying to go it alone. Okay, even though you have the strength and the power to do that, you're not necessarily you're not necessarily abiding by a lone wolf mentality in this. And yeah, you're not necessarily abiding by a lone wolf mentality in this, because you have, you have the opportunity to again rest and rejuvenate after a serious, after something that has caused you pain. Okay, so that's at your base energy. And for those of you just joining in, we are doing a tarot reading pyramid, or a tarot pyramid reading. Okay, 8, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to pause a little bit here because I just looked at the numerology here. And if you follow like angel numbers, or if you are interested in numerology, this might be interesting here. We have 7. Okay. We have 8, 9. Okay. And 10. Okay. And to explain the logic here, if you were to add, in this case, a 2-digit number together, the idea of numerology is that, at least as I understand it, and fact check me if you know differently, you want to condense the numbers as much as you can to get a single number, and certain numbers are more powerful than others. Again, haven't done this in a while, but what I'm noticing here is that if I'm adding, in this case, this is 4 and 6 is 10. Okay, we have the 1 and 8 being 9, single 8, and 5 and 2 is 7. There is a sense, I think there is a sense of progress coming through because of the sequencing. As for the individual numbers, I'm not really clear on the energetic meetings. So if you do want to look those up, please, by all means. That was 7, 8, 9, and 10. There is some progress on something here. Let's keep to the idea of resting and rejuvenation after a hurt, after some heartache. And let's see what you're bringing to this pyramid energy here. Okay. Okay. Actually, let's set aside a bonus card as well. Okay. Alrighty. So the energy that I'm sensing from you here is that we have the camel boy, which represents small steps and asking for help. Okay, so we're confirming this coming together card. We also have the High Lord of Gratitude and Service, which represents selflessness, humility, and conscious action. Okay. And we also have the Desert Prince, which represents survival and false promises. All right, interesting here. What's going on here is that there is some actions that need to be taken, and especially in terms of your healing, because we do have that in your base energy. However, we can't do it by leaps and bounds, because we need to take the conscious approach rather than making ourselves false promises that we know deep down we can't keep. Okay. If we want to get out of survival mode, because I feel like there's some of this that has put us in that place in our lives, there's going to be a need to Ask for help, take small steps, and make a conscious effort uh, to really form, really form the plan we need to move forward. Okay, that's where I think your energy is coming in. And again, that's confirming our confirming our coming together card. Okay. Actually, you know what? Reshuffle here. Okay. So there's that. We also, okay. For your option here, let me give you an option. Okay. You have the option of looking at what it is that is triggering you right now. Okay. You have the mirror. Okay. There's something here that's not necessarily making you feel good, but it's in front of your face, and it's like, I'm looking at this. I don't know if I like it. I'm not sure what I'm feeling here, but I need to assess this, right? Okay. The encouragement here, if you do take the opportunity to look at your triggers here, is that you've actually already been looking at what triggers you. Okay. And I'm getting there because you have this aspect of reaching out for help from your community. Okay. Taking small steps and understanding how you can take conscious action without making false promises to yourself. Okay. You've already been doing that. So if there's this sense of overthinking and overanalyzing it's time to let that energy go and stop doing that to yourself. Because there's only so much energy a heart can take before it becomes painful to deal with, right? Before it becomes too much. Okay. And this is where I'm seeing the idea of you're already looking at your triggers, and you don't need to flagellate your heart any more than you already are. Okay. So there is that. Okay. Cool. Let's see our outcome. What are we seeing in our outcome? What are we seeing in our outcome? Okay. So in the outcome, we have the ancient Chi, Tibetan copper, and this is calling us to activate strength and life force. Okay. There's going to be a lot of power coming to you after you asking for help. I think part of this is that you're looking at yourself and figuring out what it is you need to be put on the path to finding your strength. Okay, that's looking at your triggers. That's asking for help. That's giving yourself a chance to heal whatever it is you need to heal. And you are on the right track to doing that. The outcome is that you're going to come out of this period of healing so much stronger and so much more yourself, right? Not that you don't ever need to question your truth. Okay. There's that. Let's move into some tarot and see see what it is we can see for that portion of the reading. Okay. All right. So, tarot. Let's see what we can do with our tarot. Okay. So, tarot, what do we need to see to supplement the energy from our pyramid here? All right. All right. Okay, we're starting with the Eight of Cups. So part of the energy of coming out the other side of this healing process as a stronger, more self-aware person is that we're looking at where we can leave our disappointments. Okay. Like I said, there's been there's been a blow. There's been a hit. There's been something that you've experienced that has caused you pain. And it hasn't felt good, but you're now at the point of saying, yes, it happened. I'm looking at this as a trigger and I'm seeing like, yeah, I'm already doing the work on myself anyway. I don't need to hurt myself anymore. I'm strong enough to move past it. Some situations that call for this are easier and some are harder. Gauge your situation and whether this portion of the message resonates. But either way, there's some disappointments that you're leaving where they're sitting and you're turning your back and saying, no more. I don't have to be defined by this Eight of Cups. Okay. All right. So there's that Eight of Cups. Yeah. And Nine of Swords. There's part of this is anxiety. Part of this is stress. Part of this is the hurt that's accumulated from the situation at your base. Okay. Doing the work, walking out of the door, and immediately, from the Work Your Light Oracle, there's a card that says, I think it's initiation or rite of passage or something. Something about this leaving. Something about this leaving is, yes, it's causing you grief and it may be causing you stress, but it's. I don't think this is as unmanageable as you're probably guessing for yourself. It will be. I think I said that correctly. Because remember that you have, you're coming out stronger. You have strength already. Okay, this monkey on your back really isn't there. Okay, what's keeping you up at night can be looked at and can be assessed, but it's not necessary to overthink it, to overdo it for yourself, because that's where you end up hurting yourself. Okay. Okay, we also have Temperance coming back out again here. Okay, remember we got that from the first part of the first portion of the live. This is something very the balance aspect is coming back out in this, because you don't you don't want to act impulsively. You don't want to just do something because you need to. There is an action that can be taken, but it will require you really looking at what you need from yourself. Okay. So yeah, this Temperance card is coming back out because you do need to stay balanced and look at it, what will help you achieve that. Okay. I say that, but adding on, if your goal is to move away from the disappointment and hurts and the stresses. There is something that can be done to help you do that. Okay. Let's see. Okay, the hidden energy here is the Ace of Wands. So there's a new opportunity to look at your inner fire and what it is that will help you keep to your inner truth. Okay. And so there's the Ace of Wands, but we also have the King of Wands. And so, yes, there's a new spark. Yes, there's a new energy coming forward. Again, you have the ability to manage this, to feed the fire just enough that it gets hotter without going overboard. Okay, remember this balance, this temperance. Okay. All right. Now, again, I think I mentioned this in the past here, but you have swords and you have cups. So there's something about the head and heart needing to be balanced in this, which I like that I say, again, because we have the swords representing a mental and intellectual base here, and we have our cups, which is representative of our emotions and what's on our hearts. There's something definitely very strong coming through emotionally, and that's putting you in your head. Potentially not a bad thing. That's for you to gauge what that's going to look like. But on top of that, the chance to really get into what sparks you up is showing itself here again, because your Ace of Wands, and doing so in a way that doesn't get you overboard. It doesn't have you running too hot. Okay. All right, so there is that. Let's quickly clarify why we're seeing what we're seeing. And we'll get a supplement here. Okay, why are we seeing this? Okay, to start, we are seeing here with the Ace of Cups. So there's a new connection to be made for spiritual and emotional growth. This, again, going back to our pyramid base here, there is a community aspect. There is an aspect of you reaching out to find new helpers or new individuals that you may trust with what you're going through. Okay. But certainly there's a new opportunity to grow from this in terms of your emotions and what you are feeling. We also have the Chariot. So the beautiful aspect of all of this is that clarity is coming for you, and you are going to know how to navigate your path. I feel like this is a sense of calling back power to you, because you're realizing that you have the power to drive the car, as it were. Okay. Let's see what else here. Okay. We have the Four of Swords, which, like I said, is calling you to rest. Give yourself a break. Give yourself a chance. Because there's certainly information coming from our Ace of Cups and our Chariot that needs to be processed as much as it can be. Okay. We also have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay. And we have the Four of Wands. Okay. All right. So this is going to be hard work and it's going to require some effort. But you are building a foundation on which you can really firmly stand. And eventually that's going to need to have you celebrate that effort. Okay, because you are putting in so much work and so much effort and so dang much energy is going into this. The thing of this is that all of this is meaningful work for you. Okay, and you could happily spend hours doing it. You could happily just happily be the busiest and be as ever with this thing. However, please give yourself the chance to rest as well, because it's going to require that. Okay, you're not a robot, you're not a machine, you are going to need to rest. But with this effort comes, yes, responsibility, but also yes, it comes with the responsibility, but it also comes with great rewards, and they are coming in for you. It's going to take a little bit more work. Okay. What else? What else do we need? What else do we need? What else do we need for this here? Okay. What else do we need? Okay. All right. So for supplemental energy, we have the Knight of Cups. We have the Six of Wands. And we have the Sun. Okay. So the Knight of Cups, we've definitely taken action at this point. I feel like we've taken action on growing, certainly doing a lot of work to grow as a person, as a spiritual and energetic being. We've come from essentially nothing, a new untried energy, into an energy that is possible to really channel safely and openly. Okay. And now it's time to celebrate our clarity, and it's time to celebrate our clarity and acknowledge that, yeah, we've done this work and we deserve praise for it. That does, humble brag a little bit. Whatever it is that you've worked on achieving, it's okay to give a little bit of a brag. Don't be big-headed. Don't be egotistical over it. But you deserve a little bit of a chance to say, you know what, I did that. And you know what? Brag to yourself. Look in the mirror and say, hey, queen, king, non-binary, regal figure of your choosing. I did that. You did that. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, you absolutely fierce human. You did that. You did that. Celebrate yourself for it. Give yourself a chance to. Okay. Because there's a lot of beautiful, fiery, light, happy, powerful energy coming through because you've done the work to allow yourself to that. Okay. And in fact, this energy is coming off the end of a healing process, and so whatever has wounded you in the past is no longer wounding you, okay, because you've chosen to leave it behind. And now there's this opportunity of stepping back and seeing how your garden has grown. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we need to see here. Okay. Oh, we have the Hierophant and the Six of Swords. So in all of this transitioning and all of this movement and all of this change, you found a sense of yourself. You found a sense of your own grounding and your own. You found a sense of your grounding and your own happiness, and you don't have to fear. You don't have to fear choppy waters because you know you can navigate them. Okay. You've done so in the past, and maybe you're going to have to do it down the line, but that doesn't mean that you are alone in that effort, and it doesn't mean that you won't be doing any more of that work without being acknowledged and protected. Okay. Alrighty, let's close out this reading, and then I need to stop the live until next time after this. But again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. This live will be saved in playback, so if you want to come back to this reading and get any more information from it, please do so. I'm happy to help where I can. Just let me know let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. So let's see what kind of cards. Let's see what kind of cards we need to see to close out this reading. Okay. All right. So in closing, we're getting the Five of Wands. Okay. We're getting the Emperor. Okay, we're getting the Emperor. Okay. And we are getting the Two of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad you could be here. Thank you so much. So in all of the conflict, in all of the stress, and all of the displacement and the imbalance, or the lack of a sense of balance, you have the gift of making it make sense. Okay? And I'm getting here with the Emperor. You have the gift of taking all of these disparate pieces of information and putting it together in a way that makes sense. You have the power of steadiness and remaining practical and joyful, frankly, because we have the dolphins here. All of that keeps you in balance. Also, your personal truths here are coming forward. Again, this is your talent. This is your superpower. This is what you have. This is what you have at your disposal. Okay. If things are not making sense, if things don't look like they are very clear, you also have the ability to give yourself the chance to collect what you're missing. Okay. Know that this thing, I'm reading that as a sword. Okay. So that's your mind. You have a lot of mental power. Like, you have a lot of power over your thoughts and what you're feeling. So even if things feel unsettled, even if you feel anxious, even if you feel like you're the transition that you're making right now is causing you some pause, you still have the chance to step back and observe what you need to do and the kind of information you need in order to keep yourself grounded while things change. Okay. As for hidden and clarifying energy, again with our Page of Cups, this beautiful fellow's come out a couple of times. there's a lot of emotional growth here. A lot of lessons have been absorbed and taken in, and you're learning what you need to just be a person while things go on around you, okay? And part of that, we're going to pick up our Emperor card here. Part of that is that you've used your mental and you used your mind and your thought processes in a way that has clarified a lot of things for you on this journey. Okay, because you've seen where there may have been some deception, some words that have been used or things that have been said to you that may have been well-meaning but aren't necessarily useful to you. And while you've heard what that has been, you've heard what that was said, it isn't holding on, right? It isn't necessarily holding in your truth, because at least it isn't necessarily holding in your truth because it isn't serving you. You know what energies are serving you, and you know how to move forward with what you have from there. Okay. So I hope that makes sense, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being here. I hope that this has helped in some way. I hope to be back on live again soon. But again, like I said, I'm getting my nephews again this coming week and possibly for the rest of the month. So hang in there with me while I figure out my schedule, because I may be back. Later. I don't know, but I'm figuring out my schedule, and when I know more, you guys will know more. So that is it for the stream, guys. Thank you so much again. I will see you soon, and until then, stay safe, stay well. I love you lots. Bye, everybody.